meditation comes freedom from fear or death. Most people think that death is the end of existence, when in fact death means existence is over. The greater the identification with the name, the greater the fear. Living a righteous life removes attachment from the name Omniverse. It makes one aware of an ever-changing nature of the body and of all pre-normal existence. Recognizing the ephemerality of its all, one realizes the impossibility of holding on to anything rational, cumbersome, ego identity.
Every age requires its own fables, especially those that, as Webster defines it,
True peace, true peace, true peace. Gonna open up holy day, happy holy day, peacemakers and Muslims all across the world. Welcome to Unity Temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are a chartered and incorporated temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and we're teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. True peace, happy holy day. Welcome. Everybody that come through today. Today is holy day, and we honor our divine prophets. I want to first off give honors to all the divine prophets, to the Grand Man of the Grand Major Temple, and all the ministers of the Moorish Science Temples, and all the adepts of the middle, of the AC chamber. Of the AC chamber, and welcome. True peace, shalom. Islam. Alright, so we're gonna get it started with the divine supplication. Begin our prayers and thinking by using El Kalum, prayer of the Ansars. O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds, we do accept the duty you have lain on us to clean up the filth made by the West and its non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us to control the streams of the courses of our lives. Our sustainer, and if we do wrong, please show thy divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers, and in thy name we carry on. True peace. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the daily affirmations and get us started with that. What we accept is fact. The daily affirmation of loyalty of the children of the Elohim. I'm going to share the room while we here. Get the people coming. right. Today is my godmother's birthday. Happy birthday to my godmother. I mean to do that. Right, right. Everybody get the invites. True peace, true peace. All right. Happy holy day. Well, we accept this fact, the daily affirmation of loyalty of the children of the Elohim. We accept this fact, the eternal laws of nature as revealed through science, past events, logic, and common sense, revealed as right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We accept this fact, the highest laws of nature is the cooperation and harmony of all living things. We accept this fact, our way of life, as a means to the best end. We accept this fact that loyalty is the greatest of all honors and treason is the worst of all crimes. We accept this fact that what is good for the Holy Tabernacle is the highest virtue, and what is bad for the Holy Tabernacle is the ultimate evil. We accept this fact that the Holy Tabernacle is the finest and noblest organization for all humanity, created by circumstances, and the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek is the noblest of fraternities on and above this planet. We accept this fact that creativity, love, and cooperation are the essence of success. We accept this fact that truth and facts are always and has always been the originator and creator of all success. We accept this fact that all worthwhile cultures and civilizations came about from the ancient Sumerians and Kamite Egyptians and the Anunnaki or Elohims from the heavens, without which there would be none. We accept this fact that for the Holy Tabernacle to survive, expand, and advance, we need first of all a revolution of values and thoughts, which must start within each person by being truthful with themselves and about themselves. Therefore, we completely and categorically reject all myths, fictions, religions, and lies that have not been proven. That would include your heavens, your hells, your hellfires and brimstones, your horn and pitchfork devils, your winged angels, and your old man God character sitting on the throne up there somewhere. We deal strictly with facts. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean we won't listen to you. Just don't expect us to accept your beliefs by virtue of a title such as Reverend, Pastor, Deacon, Imam, Sheik, Rabbi, Minister, Theologian, etc. That is your sensationalism, and we deal with just the facts. We accept this fact that the only true revolution is a war of good against evil, right against wrong, fairness against unfairness, loyalty against disloyalty, sincerity against insincerity, honesty against dishonesty, and this war is fought within each person among the agreeable and disagreeable Elohims that make up your willpower. We accept this fact that the unity of our community and its success will only happen with cooperation with all involved. We accept this fact that the total unification of all humanity on the basis of truth, that is, accepting people and races for who and what they are, respecting their culture, their languages, and their beliefs, and expect the same. We accept this fact that the human race's biological and cultural heritage is now under attack by our own morals, our self-righteousness, our desire to control industry, and these things attack the very existence of humanity. We accept this fact that males as well as females are equal in all things and should be dealt with as partners in all matters. We accept this fact that no one race of people is better than the other. In fact, no one wins the race and racism. We accept this fact that communication between different people is the cure to the ignorance that breeds the disease hate. We accept this fact that a good and well-rounded education could prevent most of the ignorance that plagues the world. We accept this fact that the all is just that, the all. You can't take from the all, you can't add to the all. We are all within the all as one. That is our concept of what you call a deity. To the fulfillment of these facts, we children of the Elohim forever pledge our lives, our sacred honor, and our spiritual zeal. True peace, y'all. All right, so I'm going ahead and move to the divine constitution. We're going to open up for the day. Today is holy day. Last week we had a good service. I want that to go ahead and continue on that momentum. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, true peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because the law is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we're teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why the great God Allah of the universe ordained Zabuwr the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and keep and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Zabuwr through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Islam. All right, we're going to do the prayer. 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet Zabuwr. Amen. All right, so let's get to it, y'all. True peace, true peace. We're going to open up with the Holy Qur'an, Circle 7. And we're going to read, open up with our readings, which we read every Friday, every holy day. We go over the Holy Covenant and we read the Holy Covenant. So that way our people could understand the authority that the prophet has mentioned, as we may read later on in our literary segment of the service. The prophet, lets it be known about honoring each other and how we should go about doing so. So with that, I'm going to go into the readings. True peace, Noble. If you can, keep a lookout for the people that's coming into the room, so that way we don't miss them. Acknowledge the people that's coming in and see if we can get any questions, anything like that they have, put in the chats, so that way we kind of making things interactive, because I can't see what's going on while I'm doing the readings and doing the sermon.
I got you.
Islam. So I'm going to a Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. This is chapter 25 of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Holy Qur'an, Circle 7. And it states, ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, in the breast of one mother had given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brother, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. So we want to take that message to heart, because it's going to come up every time you introduce the ministry, the mission, and the divine creed, and the purpose for us teaching our people to proclaim their nationality. So we're going to move on to chapter 47 and 48 and read that or whatever. So chapter 47 is called Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. And it reads, the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the Dominion of Amexa, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. The Dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren, who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico, and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the Prophet Ali, the founder of the Uniting of the Moorish Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, true peace, freedom, and justice, and to create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Ali, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and awful day that is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery, due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. So that is chapter 47, and the prophet gave us a lot to understand right there. So we're gonna move on to chapter 48, which is called the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. And I want to state something real quick, because this chapter 48, it gives a great circumvention, because the name of it is called the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. And the word prophecies in Arabic is nebawa or nabi, which is short, or where you get the word nuwabu or nuwabian from in these modern day times, as was addressed by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, which a lot of people like to separate his intention and, make it seem like he was indifferent towards the prophet, and, really didn't understand what the prophet came to teach. No, the master teacher did. He gave great distinction on the clarity that he was trying to give from the standpoint of where he was teaching from. And the master teacher done that and gave us a full scope of the divine mission in its entirety, with understanding the faith of Islam, even going back to the Muhammadan days. So with that, I'm going to go ahead into the reading of chapter 48. The last prophet in these days is Noble Ali, who was divinely prepared in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed, which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days, there come a forerunner of Jesus, who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old time religion and the everlasting gospels to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. The Moorish Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, true peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation, descended from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed, for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. The covenant of the great God Allah, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah had given thee. Come all ye Asiatics of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We're trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourself with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Islam. All right. We open for business, y'all. True peace. True peace. So today, what a day, what a day. So we have a mission to fulfill, and this is the order of the day. Nationality is the order of the day. So I would like to acknowledge for those that are coming through and may come to the temple. We need to realize that we have work to do. What is that work, Moors, you ask? The prophet left us with sound instructions. The prophet said, we got to get this economic situation right. And we'll be compensated with compound interest. And in these times, modern day times, we have all types of technology that's looking like that's the direction that we heading in Islam. So we got work to do because we got to be economically prepared for what is to come about. Because we understand the fulfilling of the prophecy. This is where we at. So a lot of people come in expecting the temple to do for them. And it has to fit for them. So I'm gonna read something from the Holy Qur'an, Circle 7, real quick, so we can go over this in detail for today's service. Because we don't understand that eternal happiness and our emotions is, as we state in the daily affirmations, these are the battles of the Elohim that come from within. So it says, it says, in silent meditation, Jesus sat beside a flowing spring. It was a holy day, and many people of the servant caste were near the place. And Jesus saw the hard-drawn lines of toil on every brow and every hand. There was no look of joy in any face. Not one of all the group could think of anything but toil. And Jesus spoke to one and said, "Why are you all so sad? Have you no happiness in life?" The man replied, "We scarcely know the meaning of that word. We toil to live and hope for nothing else but toil. And bless the day when we can cease our toil and lay down and rest in Buddha's city of the dead." And Jesus' heart was stirred with pity and with love for these poor toilers. And he said, "Toil should not make a person sad, Men should be happiest when they toil. When hope and love are back of toil, then all of life is filled with joy and peace, and this is heaven. Do you not know that such a heaven is for you? The man replied, of heaven we have heard, but then it is so far away, and we must live so many lives before we can reach that place. I've heard 1,001 excuses of why people don't have the time, the will, the space, the energy for why they can't participate in the temple. We discussed this last week. We're saying we got work to do. We know we have work to do. Are we going to sit back and wait for it to get done? Because on this platform, which allows us to gather vocally, and those that would like to gather through video could join us week to week. But we have 1,001 excuses for why we rather put our energy elsewhere and not toil after the faith. So what are we toiling for if we're not toiling for the faith? What are these things? Go ahead and share the room, everybody, if you get a chance. Whoever's coming in, peace.
It's vanity. If it ain't toiling for the faith, it's vanity.
That's right, there you go. So, vanity of vanities, as they say, right?
Absolutely.
So, we got work to do because our people can't seem to get past the reflectionary mirror, which is kind of what a vanity represents, also, in a sense. To see that, as like I said earlier, what we accept as fact, that these energies within us are coming from the makeup of what we decide to keep as a spiritual diet, an educational diet, a mental diet. Jesus going to say, my brother man, your thoughts are wrong. Your heaven is not far away, and it is not a place of metes and bounds. It's not a country to be reached. It is a state of mind. Allah never made a heaven for man. He never made a hell. We are creators, and we make our own. So, we leave out these great messages that comes with studying our ancient ancestors, our forefathers and mothers. So in the Holy Qur'an, is what we're gonna be reading and going over, trying to figure out where we left off at. I know we was around 30 something. Chapter 38 is where we was at. Yep. I remember that sacred number. So we on 39 and 40. So that wall that is made known. When are we gonna realize? And we mentioned this earlier today, which is kind of funny. I was talking to the elder Baba Tunde, and one of our Babas, or what you would call an abbot in other communities, spiritual fathers, or whatever other term you want to use. But we was discussing this earlier, and we was discussing about how both genders reaches that wall when they come to realize in their life that they're not independent of each other, and we must learn to coexist. We must learn how to get along with one another and learn to love. But first, before that, learn to care. Because a lot of our people do not care about their actions, their words. How this is affecting us as a people, as an organism. So that's pretty much what we're going in on tonight. True Peace, you want? Oh, that's my it's my app though. Where does that come from? So as we go into the reading, I'm pretty sure as the revealing does what it does, as it does all the time, it's going to be revealing what we're dealing with in today's time. not sure who else is witnessing these things, but this is what's been going on. So we're gonna get into it tonight, and we're gonna I said we're gonna get into it tonight, and we're gonna go through this gracefully as we can. So chapter 39 is called Al-Araf, the wall made known. It got moved to chapter 39. I'm sorry, chapter 7 in this mistranslation. And as we kick it off, let's do it. So begin all things using the name of the source, Allah, the Rahman, Ar-Rahman, who is the most merciful. The revelation of the Qur'an. So this is where the actual revelation in the Qur'an is coming into effect. And it states, Alif, Allah, He sent it. Lam, shadow hour of power. He, the source, Allah sent down. It came from above. The Quran in the shadow hour of power. Mean, Muhammad, Saad, chest, or meaning chest. So don't let there be any heaviness, fear in your chest. Kitab, a scripture. The Quran has been sent down to you, Muhammad. So don't let there be a sarika. So don't let there be in your sadrika, your chest, any straightness from it. It will solve all problems so that you may be warned by it. And it is a reminder for the mu'mineen, faithful ones. Follow that which was sent down to you from your master, sustainer, Rab, and don't follow others beside him. Him, not us, as near friends or guardians. How little do they remember? And how many villages of Inosites did we, not I, the Elohim Anunnaki, destroy? So our punishment came upon them while they slept at the shadow hour period, or as they napped in midday. So their cause, when our, not his, the Elohim Anunnaki, punishment came upon them, were nothing other than that they say were indeed of the Zalamin, those in a state of unjustness. This next section of the chapter is called the Rasul will be sent. The Rasul sent will be questioned by the Elohim Anunnaki. It continues saying, so we, not his, the Elohim Anunnaki, will question those whom were Rasul sent to them, and we, the Elohim, also will question those whom we sent to them, or the apostles sent. So for a certainty, we, the Elohim Anunnaki, Nas Susana, related stories upon them, using knowledge, stories with inner meanings, and we, the Elohim Anunnaki, were not absent. And the measuring on that day will be by facts. So as for him whose good deeds whose good deeds weight are heavy, so these are they who will be prosperous. And as for him whose deeds weight is light, so these are they who are in a state of loss by their own very selves. By their very own selves. By being in a state of unjustness because of the Elohim Anunnaki verses. How did they not read the Quran? The next section is called The Anunnaki Gave You Your Places in the Earth. Creation and fashioning of the Adamites. And the chapter reads, and indeed we, the Anunnaki, have given you all your places in the planet Earth, and we, the Elohim Anunnaki, made for you all in it a means of livelihood. They gave us in our motherland all the natural resources as gold, the silver, platinum, and oil, etc. So how little is your grace for what you were given? And we not I, the Elohim Anunnaki, Israel, created you all, then gave you your image by Sawa, fashioning you. We said, for all the angelic messengers, Elohim Anunnaki, to prostrate for Adam, or Cadman and Zakar. So they, the Elohims, prostrated, except for the rebellious Elohim, Anunnaki, Iblis, of the species of the malevolent beings of Jinn, also called Azazel, or Lucifer, and Halal, son of the reptilian Shakar. He was not of those benevolent beings, Seraphim, who prostrated. He was of the malevolent beings, Cherubim, not a benevolent being. So the next section is called Iblis Rebellion. He doesn't want to prostrate before Cadman and Adam and Zakar, or Ammon and Zakar. It continues on saying, he said, what hindered you, Iblis, Halal, or Samael, that you did not prostrate when I not we, commanded you to? He, Iblis, said, I am better than he, Adam, or Zakar. You, Kalek, created me of fire, and you, Kalek, created him of clay. He said, get down, the Elohim was cast from the skies after the battle between the Elohim, Michael, or Murdoch, and the agreeable Elohim, Anunnaki, the benevolent beings, Seraphims, and Azazel, also known as Tarnush, Shekar, Zuan, and the disagreeable Anunnaki, the malevolent beings, Cherubims. So it is not for you, Azazel, to be Takabara, big-chested, pouted with pride in it, the planet Earth, Kui, or Tiamat, Earth. So go out from the enclosed garden of delight into our art, Earth. Surely you, the disagreeable one, the devil, are from the smaller ones, the 200 malevolent beings, cherubims. He, Iblis, the rebellious, malevolent being, said, look upon me, the devil, until the day when they are Yubathum, raised to life, taken back through the stars. He said, surely you, the devil, are one of the beings looked upon. And this next section is called Zakar, and the Kaaba is deceived by Al-Kanas. And it reads, he, Iblis, Samael, Nakash, Al-Kanas, the rebellious, malevolent being, said, I swear, as you, Adam or Zakar, caused me to go astray. I, the devil, will squat, sit, and wait for them, Zakar's seed, on your narrow path of the ones who stand up straight. He will be on the path. He will be a Muslim. Then I certainly come from before their own hands, and from behind them, and from their right, and even from their left, and you will not find most of them grateful. He will be in among the Muslims. He not we, said, get out from it, this plain, despised and driven away. Whoever will tabiaka, follow you, the disagreeable one of them, verily I, not we, will feel Jahannam, a blazing fire from you all assembled. And O Adam, or Zakar, Askun, dwell, you and Zajuka, your mate, Eve, or Nekeba, in the Jannat, or Gan, enclosed garden, and eat of its things as you desire, and don't go near this shajarat tree, for if you do, you both will be of al-Zalamin, the ones in a state of unjustness. There was already others in a state of unjustness. But al-Shaitan, the reptilian, the whisperer, Nakash, al-Kanas, or Samael, made an evil suggestion to them, Nekeba, Eve, and Adam, that he, Iblis, manifested for both of them what had been hidden from them, Zakar and Nekeba, of their disagreeable inclinations, shame. And he, the whisperer, said, has your master, the source, root one, Kakayel, also known as Uriel, not forbidden you too, Zakar and Nekeba, to eat of this tree, unless you two become Malakaim, two angelic messengers, Elohim Anunnaki, or become from Al-Kaladim, the immortals living forever? And he, the evil one, swore to them, to Adam and Eve, surely I, the evil one, am a Nashahin, sincere advisor to you. So they proceeded with their deception. So when they tasted of the tree, the opium from the tree of agreeable and disagreeable, underneath where the scroll of all was, it manifested to both of them their nakedness. They learned shame, and they began to sew upon themselves leaves from the enclosed garden of the light, and their Rab, who is master, Kakayel, Uriel, called upon both of them. Did not I, not we, not forbid both of you of that tree? And I say to both of you, surely Al-Shaitan, Samael, Hilal, Bar Shakar, the reptilian, is to both of you a clear enemy. Those two, Zakar and Nekeba, said, O Rab, we have put ourselves in a zalam, state of unjustness, wronged ourselves. And if you, not you, don't have any yielding mercy for us, verily we will be of al-Kasarim, the losers. He, not we, said all of you, Bitu, get down. Zakar and Nekeba and the 200 fallen malevolent beings, cherubims, for some of you all are the enemy of some of you. For some of you all are the enemy of some of you. I will put enmity between the devil's seed and Eve's seed. And for you all in the planet Qui is a habitation. You all will be on the planet Earth, Enocytes and the Enocytes who are devils. And all of you need is there for you for a while. Will you only be on earth for a while? He, root one, said in it, the earth will give you life and live and die. And from it, the earth will bring you, and from it, the earth will be brought out. You will return to the stars. This next section is called Children of Zakar. Let not Satan, the reptilian, deceive you. Now, before I continue with the chapter, that already kind of, shows strong footing on what I said about that wall being created, right? Islam. So the chapter goes on to say, O Bani, Adam, children of Adam, we the Elohim Anunnaki have indeed Anzal, sent down to you clothing to cover your private parts, and fine clothing and clothing of the ones who tremble at the mention. That is good. Dress as the Anunnaki dress, white robes. That is of the signs of the source, Allah, that perhaps they will remember. O children of Adam, also called Zakar, don't let Satan, the reptilian, trick you all, as when he cursed Abawakum, your two parents, to be put out of the Jannat, enclosed garden of the light. And he also calls Anhuma, them two, Adam and Eve, to remove libasahuma, their clothing, from themselves, in order to show both of them their private parts. What should have been covered? Surely he, the disagreeable one, sees you all. He and his tribe of Enocytes, from where a place you all don't see them, they are disguised. Surely we, the Elohim Anunnaki, have made Al-Shetin, Satans, the reptilians, to become the closest of friends for all those Adamites who don't have faith. And when they commit an open act of abomination, lewdness, they say, we have found our fathers doing it, and the source, Allah, has commanded it. Tell them this: surely Allah did not command acts of abomination, lewdness. Do you say of that, or do you say of the source, Allah, what you do not know? Tell them this, Muhammad: my Rabb, the sustainer, the source, has commanded justice and set upright wajuwakum, your faces, at the possession of every masjid, place of prostration, and to call him, not them, sincerely in the means of judgment, as he, not they, bara'akum, begin you, created you in the beginning. So towards him you all will return, to the stars. A certain group of Nubians of Set seed has his calmness, and a certain group of Cain seed, black devils, in reality they have over them a dialect, a strayed state of error. For Cain seed, black devils, have taken Satan's, the reptilian malevolent beings, cherubim, to be their awliya, friends. Aliyah, friends, in the land of Nod, or Saturn, or Abaddon, other than the source, Allah, and they calculated that surely they are mu'tarun, calmed. The next section of this chapter is called the source. Allah does not like those who exceed bounds. Dooms day for every kindred. He will say to Enocytes who follow the devil, enter into the fire with the nations who have indeed passed before you all. From the jinn malevolent beings, the cherubims and the Enocytes, seed of Adam, who followed the disagreeable one into the fire, whenever a Ummatun nation shall enter it, the lake of hell, it shall curse its sister. Those nations of Enocytes whom they follow into sin, until then they all reach hell, all together. The last of them, modern nations, will say about the first of them, from Babylon, our master, sustainer, who was robbed, these are they who were led astray, all into error. So give to them, the 200 fallen malevolent beings, a double adhaban, pain, and al-nar, the fire. He says for all of them is a double, but you don't know. And she said, the great beast, the harlot, to the last of them, so you have no preferences over us for yourselves. So therefore taste the pains by what you have earned yourself. Surely those who lie about the Elohim's signs, the scriptures, and were big-chested, pouting with pride to accept them, the doors or the gates of Al-Samae, the sky or vortex, will never open for them until the camel can pass through the needle's eye. We, the Elohim Anunnaki, also will reward the guilty ones. A Jahannam, blazing fire, hell, will be their abode, with barriers above them. We, the Anunnaki, also will punish those in a state of injustice. And as for those who are faithful, and are working to perfect their being, themselves. We not I, the Elohim, do not impose on any nafsan person except that which it can accomplish. These are you who are the companions of Al-Jannat, enclosed garden of the light. In it you shall be eternally. And we, the Elohim Anunnaki, will remove all bad feelings from their chests or breasts. The river will flow underneath them, and they will say, all gratitude is for Allah, and we will not have been calmed for it. Nuwabu, if the source, Allah, had not rightly calmed us. Certainly, all the ones sent, Rasul, came with the facts, and it will be called out that this is the enclosed garden of the light of which you will be made heirs for what you did, how you lived. And the companions of the Jannat will call out to the companions of the fire that indeed we have found our Rob, sustainer, has promised us. Is a fact. So have you all found what your master have promised you to be a fact? And we're getting closer, y'all. Give me a second. I'm sharing the room real quick. Yeah, getting a good word out. All right. All right. So to continue on, it says, they will say yes. Fada, I'm sorry. Fada Dahana, so called the Mu Ada Dahinum, the Mu Ada Arinun caller. The caller will call out the Azan, Benahum, between them, that the physical curse of the source Allah is on those who are in a state of injustice and those who hinder others in the regards to the path of Allah. Those false teachers, preachers, imams, sheiks that misguide innocents, and they seek to make a crooked way that creates all forms of sectism and denominations, and they are the ones who conceal what they know to be facts in the end. The next section is called the companions of the fire will desire to be the companions of Al-Jannat. And it reads, and between them 2 heavens, the planets between the firmament, Jupiter or Kishar, Saturn, also called Anshar, Uranus, called Mashik, Neptune, called Ea, and the planets below the asteroid belts firmament, which is Mercury, called Mumu, Venus, called Lahamu, Earth, Tiamat, Mars, Lamu, will be a screen, or 7 heavens and hells. And on Al-Araf, the wall made known will be Rajal, mortal men who know all by their marks, and they shall call out to the companion of the enclosed garden of the light. Peace be unto you. They will have not yet entered in it, though they hope to. And when their inner sight is turned in the direction of the companions of the fire, they will say, our master has made us among the kindred who are in a state of unjustness. These false lords do not see themselves as cursed, so they think they will not go to hell. And the companions shall call out to the Enocytes that they know by their marks, the mark of the beast, 666, Zain, Zain, Zain. They shall say, of what avail were unto you and your gathering, and how you used to act so proudly. Are these those about whom you swore that Allah would not give them his yielding mercy? Enter into the Jannat, enclosed garden of the light, and you all shall have no fear, nor shall you grieve. And the companions of the fire shall call out to the companions of the enclosed garden of the light, saying, pour down upon us the waters, or from that which the source Allah has provided you. They shall say, surely Allah has made them too unlawful on those who conceal what they know to be the facts, those who take their means of judgment as some form of idle sport, and as if it is a game. The physical world of this life has them deceived. So today we, not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, have Nasahum, forgot them, just as they have forgot the meeting of their day. How they neglected to obey in the fear of the judgment day, and just as they denied our, not his verses, the scriptures. And indeed we, the Elohim Anunnaki, came to them with a scripture, or the holy tablets. So we, the Elohim, explained it, the scripture, Allah, over the ilmin, knowledge, a calmness, and a yielding mercy. For a kindred, family of Kaaman or Adam who has faith, are they looking for nothing except the day when its interpretation finally comes upon them, the holy tablets, on the day when its interpretation will finally come, which is about 1996. He will say, those who forget or neglect it from before will say, indeed, the Rasulu once sent, all the news bearers of our sustainer, Rab, Arab, has come with the facts. So are there for us any Sufa'ah, intercessors, so that they will be able to Yashfa'u, intercede for us? Or could we have been sent back so that we may do other than that which we already would? Indeed, they lost their own selves. They are astray in a state of error, and that which they have invented, forged their hadith, has departed away from them. So this next section is called the act of khalq, creation, is the source, is the sources. Call out to the master without raising your voices rudely. Gabriy'El is speaking. I'm sorry, y'all. The chapter goes on stating, Gabriy'El is speaking, for surely your Rab, sustainer, who is the source, Allah, who created the skies and the planet Earth in only 6 daily periods, then he, not we, fulfilled his, not our responsibilities on the throne, or Ilium. He screens the shadow hour period by the luminance of daylight, by the luminance of daytime hour, which persistently pursues it, and the sun, the moon, and the stars, all are made subservient to his divine command. Is it not that his is the act of creating the commands? Blessed is the sustainer who is Ra of all the known worlds. Humbly call out to your master in secret. Surely he does not like the transgressors, those who violated the sanctity of supplication by raising their voices impertinently or rudely, and do not cause mischief in Al-Ard, the planet Tiamat, Earth, after its restoration, replenishment, rebuilding, and repopulation. and call on him in kafan, fear, and anticipation. Surely the unrelenting mercy of the source is nearer to those who does that which is best. And he not we, who sent forth the very winds or crafts, bearing good news between my not our hands, and his yielding mercy, until when they bring up a heavenly laden cloud, and we not I, the Elohim Anunnaki, drove it to a dead land, and we, the Elohim, sent down water from it. So we, the Elohim Anunnaki, brought forth weary over it by the rain, all kinds of fruits. Just like that, we, the Anunnaki, shall bring forth the dead, so that perhaps you may be mindful or remember. And the agreeable land, country, brings forth vegetation in abundance by the permission of its wrath. And as those which are inferior, bad crops, and do not bring forth except sparingly, this is how we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, repeat our signs for a kindred who are grateful. So this next section is called the sending of the apostle Noah, or Utnapishtim, and his nation's end. And it reads, indeed we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, sent Noah, who was also known as Utnapishtim, to his kindred. So he, Noah, said, O my kindred, slave for the source of Allah, for there does not exist for you any other Elohim, source besides him. Surely I, Noah, Utnapishtim, fear for you all a day of supreme pain. The Malay rulers of his kindred said, surely we see you, Noah, or Utnapishtim, as one who has clearly gone astray into error. He, Noah, said, O my kindred, I have not in any way gone astray into error, but I am a Rasul, sent from the Rab, sustainer of all the known worlds. I, Utnapishtim, abalikhumkum, propagate to you the Rasulet, messages of my Rab, Adonia, who is master. And I advise you all, and I know things from the source, Allah, which you do not know. Or do you wonder about the fact that there has come to you all a reminder from your master or sustainer, a Rajulin, mortal men from amongst you, from your own inner sights, who is to warn you all, so that you will tremble at the mention, and perhaps you will be treated with mercy. Stop your disagreeable. Right? It's got a question mark there. But they still called him Noach, or Utnapishtim, we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, delivered him and those who were with him, Kam, Labana, Shem, Yafet, Fa'atin, Ifat, Halima, Nama, and the 80 beings inside of the craft. And we, the Elohim Anunnaki, drowned all of those who lied and rejected our verses, the Enuma Elish and the tablets from before. Surely they were a blind kindred. So this next section of the chapter is called the sending of the Rasul Eber and his nation's end. And that's funny because brother Yusuf was asking about the father of Abraham earlier and who his father name, and he was asking if people on the live with him knew about that today. And that kind of came back up today again. And these were villains, man. The way they function is crazy. So before we go into the next section of the verse, of this chapter, I'm actually going to reset the room real quick so you all could join us. Welcome to Unity Temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are the World Temple under our own laws and customs. You can join us by clicking the link at the top, the Green Mansion, or the room that's pinned to the link. And we're teaching our people their divine nationality and their divine creed. And, come and join. Come and link with the family of nations. So with that, I'm going to continue reading. And go into this next part of the verse. The chapter. And it reads, and to the kindred of Ad went their brother Hud, or Uber. He who said, O my kindred, or Hebrews, slave for the source for what you have is not from any other source besides him. So will you not tremble at the mention? The rulers of those who conceal what they know are the facts from their kindred said, surely we see you, who is also known as Eber, as foolish, ignorant, and unqualified to make such claims. In fact, we think that you are those who are liars. He, Hud, or Hud, and Eber said, the one sent to the nation of Ad, O my kindred, there is not stupidity in me, but I am a Rasul sent from the Rob of all the known worlds. I, Hud, or Uber, delivered unto you all a message from my Rob, and I, Eber, or Hud, am for you all a trustworthy advisor. Or are you all, the Innosites of Muhammad's time, amazed that remembrance has come to you from your Rob, Allah, on a Rajulan, mortal man, Muhammad, from amongst you, to warn you and remind you, and when he made you all caliphats, successors, left behind, and you came after Noach's kindred, and he increased you all, remultiplied you on Al-Ard, or Tiamat, earth, in the creation, ever more excellent in stature. So remember these benefits of Allah, then perhaps you all will be prosperous. They said, the Innosites of Ad, have you come to us in order for us to slave for the source Allah alone, and for us to give up what we used to slave for from before, our forefathers? Then make to come upon us by it the pain you have threatened us with. If you are to be of the Zodokites, the trusted ones, he who said, indeed, shameful acts and wraths fell upon them from their Rob, some sustainer. Do you despite with me about the names which you and your forefathers were given? Allah did not send down for it any authoritative power. So I am watching with you all and those who are waiting. So we, not I, the Elohim Anunnaki, delivered him, Hud, or Eber, and those who are with him, Hud, from our, not his, the Elohim Ramat, yielding mercy from us, not mine, and we, not his, the Anunnaki, cut off the very last of those who lied about our signs, and they were not of the faithful ones. So this next section is called the sending of the Rasul, Salih, and Lot, and their nation's end. So we're going to close out right there, because this chapter is very long, y'all. Very, very long. So we're gonna pick up with Brother Lot or Brother Loot and continue from there. But with that, any contributions you want to add on or any reviews, Brother Chaza, before we go into the next segment? And with that, welcome to everybody that came through, showed us some love, contributions, share the room, get the information out. We appreciate everybody that comes back and listens to the replays and join us for Holy Day. Islam, for those that are on Clubhouse and looking for a spiritual home, you have that here with us. We are interfaith home, and we're teaching our people their divine creed and their nationality. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get us prepared for the next section of our temple service. Next segment of our temple service. I'm gonna pin to the top of the room the World Treasury of Merit, so that way people can make donations and offerings to the room. And we're gonna go into some of these literary lessons from the Prophet, and then we're gonna close out. True peace, true peace. All right. Everybody must be busy on Holy Day. Islam. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. That is to be proclaimed in every temple service and meeting. This is what the Prophet wants us to read. The Prophet said, "I'm glad to know I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me in the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds, the ones that paid their divine respects to me and the movement will be remembered. This is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years." Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All right, so Prophet got us, in place, solid, and the work that the Prophet has done in the past has afforded us the great opportunity to proclaim our true nationality. So with that, the Prophet also gives us a warning to all peacemakers and Muslims, which we go over he wants us to go over in every temple service and meeting. So the Prophet says, "I hereby inform all members that they end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing a turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. True peace, Noble Ali. All right. Y'all can leave us a donation. Got the Cash App on there, and everything else. You can learn about the temple tax, and continue to learn about the things that we got going on as the Moorish Science Temple of America, and get involved. True peace. Welcome home. Why do y'all? I'm gonna go ahead and do the closing out of the prayer, and we going home. 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Ali. Amen. Why do y'all?